Hello students, today we will be talking about the introduction of electrical drives. Now, in electrical drives, there are different components that we need to understand. What are the advantages of electrical drive and what are the disadvantages of electrical drive? That also we need to understand. But before that, we will see how electrical drive is defined. Now, motion control is almost required in all the industries, maybe in small amount, maybe in the large amount, whether it is industrial application or domestic application. So motion control, speed control or displacement control is almost required everywhere. If we consider some examples, these examples can be transportation system or rolling mills, paper machines, textile mills, machine tools, fans, pumps, robots, washing machines, etc. So this motion control or the system which is employed for the motion control is called drives. So if I write here systems employed for motion control, systems employed for motion control are called drives. Now for motion control, these systems employ any of the prime movers such as diesel or petrol engines, gas or steam turbines, steam engines, hydraulic motors and electric motors for supplying mechanical energy for the motion control. Right? So that is, if we want to control motion, then we need to have some prime mover. Now that prime mover can be in the form of diesel or petrol engine, gas or steam turbine, steam engine, then hydraulic motors or electric motors, so that motion can be controlled. So with this definition of drives, we can define electrical drives. How we can define? Drives employing electric motors are known as electrical drives. So drives employing electrical motors are called electrical drives. Drives employing electrical motors are known as electrical drives. So we have defined what is drives and what is electrical drives. So if we talk about the block diagram of electrical drive, we need to consider different components. What are these components? The first component is the source that is required for a drive to operate. Then there is a power modulator. Then we have a motor. Then load, sensing unit, control unit, and all these blocks are needed for realizing an electric drive. So if I connect this appropriately, I can get this type of block diagram. Let me draw here. This is source. Then we have power modulator. Then we have motor. Then we have load, These are connected like this. Okay. Then sensing unit, sensing unit, sensing. All these blocks we will discuss in detail. Let me first draw this sensing unit. Then we have control unit. We have a control unit which is connected like this. Then this is input command. Input command. This is input command. So this is a typical block diagram of electrical drives. We have a source, we have power modulator, we have motor, we have load, sensing unit and control unit. So here we will be giving some input command and accordingly the drive will operate. Accordingly the drive will operate. So first we will discuss what is power modulator. What is power modulator? Now power modulator is a block which is placed between the source and motor and which actually modulates the flow of power. So load is usually a machinery which is designed to accomplish a given task. Now this task can be fan, pumps, robots, washing machines, machine tools, trains and drills, and for this task we will be using that will be called as a load. Usually load requirement can be specified in terms of speed and torque demand that will vary as per the requirement of a load. The motor having torque, speed characteristics and capabilities compatible to the load requirement is chosen particularly. Okay, and power modulator performs several functions. Now what are these functions that we will see one by one? Now first function of the power modulator, the very first function of the power modulator is that it modulates the flow of power from the source to the motor. It modulates the flow of power from the source to the motor. So as per the requirement of the motor, the power flow is modulated. And in such a way that the motor is imparted. Now this motor is imparted with the torque speed characteristics required by the load. Another function of power modulator is that during transient operation. Now what are transient operations? Transient operations are nothing but the operations when we go for starting, we go for braking, speed reversal. These operations are generally termed as transient operations. Starting, braking and speed reversal. So during transient operation, this power modulator restricts the source and motor current within permissible values. That means it will avoid or it will not allow current to go beyond the permissible or desired value. So excessive current drawn from the source may overload or may cause a voltage dip, and hence it is very important to control that current, and power modulator performs that function. So during transient operation such as braking, starting and speed reversal, it restricts the source and motor current within the permissible values. Third function of the power modulator is that it converts electrical energy of the source in the form suitable to the motor, because here we are placing power modulator in between source and motor. So motor can be AC DC or source can also be AC DC. So depending upon the type of motor and type of source available, the power modulator will operate. Depending upon the type of motor available and depending upon the type of source available, this power modulator will operate. That means it will function as a power electronic converter. Here it will function as a power electronic converter. So if the source is DC, and the motor is AC, in that case it will convert DC into AC. That means it will act as an inverter. And if source is AC and here it is DC, motor is DC, then it will act as a rectifier, control rectifier. So in that way, it will act as a power electronic converter. And the fourth important function of power modulator is that it will select the proper mode of operation of the motor, because we will study in upcoming lectures that there are 4 modes of the operation: quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. So motoring, then forward motoring, reverse motoring, forward braking, reverse braking, all these 4 quadrants are there, 4 operations are there. So it selects, this power modulator selects the mode of operation, in which mode the motor should operate. That will be selected by the power modulator. So what are the advantages of power modulator? What are the functions of power modulator? The functions of power modulator, the first function is modulates the flow of power from the source to load. It modulates the flow of power from the source to load. Second function is that during transient operation, it limits the current of the source and the motor as well, in order to avoid over voltage problems and voltage dip problems. And then third function is it converts electrical energy in the form suitable for the motor. This AC is converted into DC if motor is DC. And last function is that it selects the mode of operation of the drive, whether it should operate in the first quadrant, second quadrant, fourth quadrant or third quadrant, depending upon that, right? So these are the functions of power modulator. I hope this is clear to you. Moving ahead, we will talk about advantages of electrical drives. Our next topic of discussion is advantages of electrical drives. Advantages of electrical drives. What are the advantages compared to mechanical drives, hydraulic drives? So electrical drives are widely used because of some of the advantages that we will be discussing in this part of the discussion, right? So first one is they have flexible control characteristics. They have flexible control characteristics. Okay. So when I say flexible control characteristics, we need to understand some points. The steady state and dynamic characteristics of the electrical drive can be shaped, can be changed, can be transformed to satisfy the load requirement. Whatever is the load requirement, as per that requirement, steady state and the dynamic characteristics of the electric motor can be shaped, can be changed. Speed can be controlled, and if required, that speed can be controlled in the wide limits. That's meant from very small value to very large value. Electric braking can be employed. Control gear requirement for the speed control, starting and braking is usually simple and easy to operate. With this motor, with this electrical drive. Hence, we are saying that electrical drives have flexible control characteristics. Now, why this is achievable, why this is possible? Because of the availability of the semiconductor converters employing thyristors, power transistors, IGBTs, GTOs, linear and digital ICs and microprocessor, and because of that we are able to control the speed in the wide range. It is possible to reshape characteristics of the drive almost at will as per our requirement to meet the load requirement in an optimum manner. Right? Speed and torque and transitions from one mode to another mode, as I said earlier, because there are 4 types of operations: quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So transition from quadrant 1 to another quadrant can be controlled smoothly and steplessly. very smoothly without any steps. Optimal control strategies can be implemented to achieve high dynamic performance. Optimal control strategies can be implemented to achieve high dynamic performance, high efficiency, or to minimum a suitable performance index. Drives can be provided with automatic fault detection systems. Now these drives can be employed with the automatic fault detection systems, and programmable logic like PLC and computers can be employed to automatically control the drive operation in the digital or the desired sequence. That's why we say that they have flexible controls characteristics. The meaning of flexible controls characteristics is that speed can be varied in the wide ranges, right? Second advantage, they are available in the wide range of torque, speed and power. They are available in wide range of speed, torque and power. They are available in the wide range of speed, torque and power. This is second advantage. This is second advantage. Third advantage is electric motors have high efficiency. Electric motors have high efficiency. Electric motors have high efficiency. Now why there is high efficiency? Because there are very low no load losses and considerable short time overloading capacity. As there are low losses, efficiency is obviously high and can be made in the variety of designs to make them compatible with the load. So they can be made compatible with the load because the motors can also be designed properly. Compared to other prime movers, they have the longer life. Lower noise, lower maintenance requirements and cleaner operation. So under this we can also note down that they have longer life, electric drive, lower noise, lower maintenance and lower maintenance requirement and the cleaner operation. Next advantage is that do not pollute the environment. Do not pollute the environment. That is the one of the biggest advantage here, that they do not pollute the environment. They are environment friendly, right? Fifth advantage is that they are adaptable to almost any operating condition, such as explosive or radioactive environment, or submerged in the liquids, or vertical mountings, and so on. So they are adaptable to almost any operating condition. They are adaptable to almost any type of operating condition. Sixth advantage is that can operate in all four quadrants. Again, can operate in all four quadrants. As I said, there are four operating quadrants: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is forward motoring, this is reverse motoring, forward braking, reverse braking. So they can be operated in all the four quadrants of the torque speed plane. Electric braking gives smooth deceleration and increased life of equipment compared to other forms of braking. when regenerative braking is possible, right? Considerable saving of energy is achieved in case of regenerative braking. So these features are not available in any other prime mover. These features are not available in any other prime mover. Then another advantage is that, like other prime movers, they do not need refueling or warming up the motor. No need to go for refuel. No need for refuel or warm up, because for other drives other than electrical drives, there is requirement of refuel or warm up. So that is not the case with this electrical drive. They can be started instantly and can immediately be fully loaded. They can be immediately fully loaded. As you know that in some of the vehicles, we need to warm up. We need to keep them on for some time, for short duration, before raising the speed. That is not the case with the electrical drives. That is not the case with the electrical drives. And the last advantage is that they are powered from electric supply. They are powered from electric supply. They are powered from electric supply. What are the advantages of electrical supply? It can be generated and transported to the desired point economically and efficiently. They can be generated, electrical energy can be generated and transported to the desired point economically and efficiently. Conversion of electrical to mechanical energy and vice versa is possible, and electrical energy from one form to another form can be done efficiently and economically. That's why this is the advantage. They are supplied from the electrical supply. They are powered from the electrical supply. So these are the advantages of the electrical drives. What are these advantages? The first one is they have flexible control characteristics. Second is they are available in the wide range of the speed, torque and power. Third is electric motors have high efficiency. Fourth one is they do not pollute the environment. Fifth one is they are adaptable to almost any operating condition. Then can operate in all four quadrants. Then there is no need for refuel or warm up, and they are powered from electric supply. They are powered from the electrical supply. Now, because of above advantages, because of the advantages that we have discussed, the mechanical energy already available from the non-electrical prime mover is sometimes first converted into electrical energy by a generator and back to mechanical energy by an electric motor. So electrical link thus provided between the non-electrical prime mover and the load impart to the drive flexible control characteristics. Consequently, the load requirements are fully met. Now, if we talk about the example, in diesel electric locomotive and ship, the mechanical energy produced by the diesel engine is converted into electrical energy by the electrical generator and is utilized to drive electric motors which drive locomotive and ship. The operations of generator and motors can be controlled by shaping torque speed curve and other parameters to meet the traction or propulsion requirement in the best possible manner. So these are the advantages of electrical drives. And also we have seen a block diagram of electrical drive. Now this block diagram includes source, power modulator, motor, load, sensing unit and control unit. And very first we have seen what is drive and what is electrical drive. What is drive? Drive is systems employed for motion control are called as drives. Systems employed for motion control are called drives, and drives employing electric motors are known as electrical drives. Drives employing electrical motors are known as electrical drives. And also we have seen functions of power modulator. What is the first function? The first function is it modulates the flow of power from the source to the motor in such a manner that motor is imparted with the desired torque speed characteristics required by the load. Second function is during transient operation such as starting, braking and speed reversal, it restricts the current in the motor and source. Third function is that it converts electrical energy into the suitable form required for the motor. And fourth one is it selects the mode of operation. It selects the mode of operation. So these are the functions of power modulator. So with this we will stop here. We will discuss other components of the block diagram of electrical drive in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.